What's up, guys? We're back with another video. This one's going to be a little bit different. We're actually doing a little bit of maintenance on my wife's Jeep here. It's an '07 Grand Cherokee Limited. It's actually a 3.0 diesel, so it kind of fits in the family a little bit. But she started noticing a kind of like a humming or a rumble noise coming out of the front end. So, and it changes if you turn a certain way. So I think she said when you turn to the left, it gets quiet, like it goes away almost. So that's kind of a telltale sign that the space in the bearing is tightening up, so it's taking the noise out of it. So we're going to do both sides. Just if one side's bad, the other side's probably not far behind. So we're going to go through. It'll probably be a time lapse until we get down to the bearings, and then work on getting them out, and I'll show you the new ones and putting them in, putting it all back together. So we'll get started. Yeah, there she is. Finally off. This bearing didn't feel too bad, so I'm not thinking that this one was the bad side, but I mean, we're in here, so we're going to go ahead and replace both of them. But just to give you a little size reference, so I can go through and you'll know what tools you need. These bolts that hold the bearing into the control arms here, or the spindle, I guess you could say, but these are 15s, and they're these bolts here. And then the ones that hold the brake pad, the bracket for it, the caliper bracket, those are 21s. And then the calipers themselves are 14s. And then this is a 36 millimeter that takes it off. So luckily I had a neighbor across the street had a set, because I didn't have a millimeter. All I got is standard. So we'll go unbox the new one and put it back together. Alright, going back together for reassembly. I decided to go with these Detroit axles. There's the part number, but they look pretty good. And we've actually used these on a couple different vehicles, and for the price, they held up really well, or they're still holding up really well. So they were $140 for the pair. Well, $146, I think, for both of them. Versus, I like to use O'Reilly's, but they were $179 a piece. So we'd have been, over $300 on two of them, versus we're under $200 on these, and I think they hold up just as well. So we're going to go ahead and clean up this surface here and put some anti-seize on it. I got some sandpaper here. We're just going to do a little light sanding so that bearing fits in there pretty snug still, but hopefully the next person that takes this apart doesn't bitch and moan about how I did beating this thing out. So put you back on a time lapse and put her back together. Alright guys, I'll kind of show you what I mean by why I think it's the other side. After we replace this one, see how pretty much straight this wheel is, especially compared to the back. Now we come over to this side, and that wheel's got a lot of lean to it. So I'm thinking that it's this side, so we'll go ahead and get started and get this one apart and see what we find. guys, going on the first test drive here with these new wheel bearings. See if the noise is still there, if it came back. Not if it came back, but if it's still there. It usually would happen around between 40 and 60 mile an hour. So we'll see if it sounds pretty quiet to me. I think that does it. Ignore the check engine light. It's got a map sensor code that won't clear. It's not really affecting it, but I haven't really dug into if it's the sensor itself or something in the wiring. So, but one piece at a time. So we got that fixed. So that'll do it for this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.